Hey guys, find out which state is temporarily shutting down their unemployment system for vital upgrades. Well, hopefully it'll go faster, so they shut it down and then it goes faster. Why millions of Americans are still jobless, even though thousands of open employment situations around the country and across the U.S. are available. The incredible news of one industry declining to a staggering, yes, 2.1% unemployment rate. Which makes you think, who has the lowest unemployment rate in the world? I'm going to tell you that. And some incredible news with the PSLF money, people that are getting money, lots of money. It's incredible who qualifies and also how you apply for it. I'm going to cover it at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around for that. So, hey everybody, it's Andrew Cartwright here. I hope you're having a marvelous Monday and you're motivated for the rest of the week. Here's your employment update for Monday, November 8th, 2021. My goal is to give you the best information to access government and private money for yourself, loved ones, and your business. Stay tuned to the channel. See personal finance, real estate, stock market, crypto, and other investments to generate income and save you money. Thanks so much to everybody who played in my new game last week. Congratulations to ADHD Mins. Everybody used crazy usernames. So for coming in first place, $100, Jaron, which is Jirrian, for coming in second place with $50, and Tesla TY, Joe Gone Wild, and Close 3115 for rounding out the top 5. Everybody uses whatever they want to use as names, so they're anonymous. I'm contacting all of you shortly, and for everyone else, get ready for another game next week. Hopefully you'll win some prizes, interact, and kind of hang out with each other. There's no catch. There's nothing that we're selling there. So make sure you check it out. Also, if you like this content, wouldn't you mind just joining the channel? It helps out so much. Subscribe, hit the bell notification, like the video if you enjoy our content, and throw a comment in. You'll get possibly $2,000 when we hit 200,000 subscribers, which we're almost there. I'm humbled. I'd love you to be part of the channel and a part of that victory, as well as getting $2,000. Somebody's going to pick from the random comments, and we're launching that out. Check my real estate program. $99 for a master's in real estate, $10,000 course. I spent $45 million learning all this stuff. I didn't oversell it. It is simple. 36 videos. You have it the rest of your life. When to buy, how to buy, market cycles, and how to not even use your own credit when you're getting a loan. It's all the secrets that I use to become wealthy in real estate. Also, thanks to my Patreons who support the channel for as little as $3 a month. And you guys are incredible. Hope you enjoy the articles and the look under the hood, all my private information stuff that's only available to you guys, as well as a copy of my book. But first, the great state of Virginia is temporarily shut down their state's employment system starting today to add necessary upgrades to an outdated system for unemployment claims in the old Dominican state. There's so many things going on in Virginia. When I say that, I'm like, oh, there's this going on there. There's that going on. Yes, now they got this going on. The VEC will process unemployment payments for the customers who filed their weekly claim, and appeals functions will continue without interruption. So you guys should still be fine there. At this time, there is still no definite timeline for how long the blackout will last, with the VEC stating it could span at least several calendar days. We're doing this video because we want to let you know, if you're in Virginia, when you Google in YouTube and you go, what happened? Why is the system shut down? Will pop up and you'll be able to see that you're not crazy. Hopefully these upgrades, which were supposed to be live in October, can help thousands of unemployment claimants in Virginia get the unemployment benefits they deserve and that they couldn't receive due to the state's old system. So funny. Don't you like upgrades when it's like, yeah, we'll be down from 1201 to 1205, right? Like, not like what they're talking about with this. It's pretty crazy. Meanwhile, a recent report from the Washington Post illustrates the problem that millions of Americans are currently facing, which is why working U.S. citizens can't find new employment with so many available job openings across the country. As we covered yesterday, how those job numbers, even though we cover them and we got to cover them to the best of our ability, aren't the whole truth. Some of the truth. We got to have something to go off of, right? It represents some kind of truth, but not the whole truth. You guys are absolutely right when you say those are not the accurate numbers. It's just the idea where we're heading. American employees are increasingly looking for jobs with higher pays, more flexibility, and remote work options, but many companies are not necessarily being more accommodative. And as you know, many people are functionally unemployed. as we've talked about that, where they're working under what they get paid, as many of you know, which is why a lot of people have not gone back to the workforce because they can't find a job that'll pay them a wage that they can even pay their bills. Or if they do get a job, they get a job that pays so little, or 2 days a week, they're still unemployed, but they count as employed. Just not right. Julian Pollack, chief economist at the ZipRecruiter, explains, quote, a lot of interest from employers is not spread evenly across the labor pool. There are some people in very high demand, and there are some people who get no interest at all. Employers really do value prior experience a lot, end quote. Yep, and the old adage, the catch-22. How do I get experience? How do I get a job if I don't have the experience, but I need to get the experience to get the job? Kind of like how I got in the Screen Actors Guild as an actor. I had to act first, say a line before they would get me in the union, but I had to be in the union to get the job. Long story, still in the union some 20 years later, the Screen Actors Guild. 55% of people on ZipRecruiter reported looking for a job that would allow them to work from home, with the majority saying, that's 55%, folks. It's more than half. We don't even vote that in presidential elections, want to work from home, with majority saying either workplace safety concerns or child and family care needs were driving their preference for remote work. I have to say, what's great about this, we have so many conversations that now you, I, us, everybody is having about the labor market that we've never thought about it. You know, there's a movement called the Great Reassessment. It talks about how so many of these things are now being thought of for the first time. We're not just on autopilot anymore. We're on a new pilot. We got new rules, folks. Job experts note that with so many open positions, employees should reach out to as many companies as possible in their fields to find situations that work for both employers and employees in the new evolving job market. And one of the other things, I know this is going to sound crazy, and I've done it myself. When people weren't willing to use me or my business, I told them, I'll tell you what, I will work for free for a few weeks. I figured I could donate a few weeks. If you see that I do the job that you want to employ, then employ me. If not, that way there's no risk. That's just one of the things I used because I don't mind working for free. I've done it a lot. And I'd rather work than sit at home trying to get a job. So, hey, I get to work for 2 weeks. At least I'm doing something. I call it my volunteer to get a job time, right? Finally, and I'm not saying to do that. I know that sounds sucky, but I'm just not one to sit on a couch. Finally, one of the biggest industries in America saw their unemployment rate decline to the minuscule 2.1%, rebounding strong from the past 21 months of madness, according to new TIA analysts of the data from the U.S. Labor Bureau and Labor Statistics. I get those mixed up all the time. Technology jobs saw their unemployment drop to 2.1% in the month of October, which is greater compared to the national 4.6% unemployment rate. You might be wondering, how could that be? It's so true. I was sitting with someone last night that actually runs the whole internet in Las Vegas. Even the cable companies use them. And I said, how is it going hiring people? He goes, I'm not having a problem. People want to be in the tech business. They just don't want to flip burgers. He's not having a problem. And in fact, he's grabbing people that have no experience because he'd rather train him in the way that their culture and their company and the way they work. And then he ends up paying them what they would get paid if they had experience. LVNet's the company name. I hate to put them on blast, but I have to say, sound good to me. To hire people that have no experience in the tech business? Wow, that's phenomenal. Tim Herbert, Executive Vice President of Research and Market Intelligence at CompTIA, explained, quote, we continue to see robust hiring activities and staff retention efforts among employers. Our research indicates a top reason tech workers considering leaving is the lack of career growth opportunities. A telling message to employers to not underestimate the value of investment in staff training and professional development, end quote. Just like my friend over at LVNet. This is amazing news for all my viewers in the tech, jobs, and I know if you're thinking about going somewhere, I would head towards a tech job at some point. It is the future. And for anyone seeking new employment, this important industry could be a new career path as we continue to stay connected through the technology in the future. The first thing is a phone call, an email, a text message, or something. Get in contact with them. And to tell you who's got the lowest unemployment rate, since we're coming off of that story, it is actually, you're not going to believe this, Qatar. Yes, good old Qatar. with 0.7%, less than a percent. I'm like, wow, maybe if you live near an oil well or something like that, they just pay you and they consider that employment, but literally 0.7%. I was shocked at how many countries, when I looked it up, had lower unemployment than us. There's like 17. It's crazy. Crazy. I don't even know. So again, I don't believe all the stats, but just so you know, so when you're at coffee and you're hanging with somebody and you say, yeah, watch Andrew Cartwright, 0.7%. Qatar, that's the lowest rate. So now you know. And being in the know, well, it lets you know something somebody else doesn't know. Public service loan forgiveness. That's that PSLF, which is incredible. So who qualifies for this? How do you qualify for PSLF? I know you've heard so many acronyms, as well as the website is in the description, so you can click on it and be able to fill out the forms and get everything you need. This provision will be waived throughout. This is a special alert, October 31st, 2020, as part of a limited PSFL waiver, so make sure you check it out. If you're employed by a U.S., this is part of unemployment as well as an employment, U.S. federal, local, state, or a tribal government, interesting, right? Or a nonprofit organization, you might be eligible for Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. This is money that you just get to walk away from. Keep reading to see, you're going to see the, basically October 6th, the U.S. Department of Education announced a temporary period during which borrowers may receive credit for payments that they previously did not qualify for. The PSLF, that means you're getting a check, money back for payments you made. So you're going to learn about that. Make sure you click in the description. The PSFL program forgiveness it'll forgive your remaining balance of direct loan after you have made about 120 payments if you have qualifying monthly payments under a qualifying repayment program while working full-time for a qualified employer. So this is money that for people at work. Yes, qualifying for PSLF. To qualify for it, you must be employed by the U.S. federal government, the state government, local, or tribal governments. That's a lot of folks. In fact, could be, in some ways, almost half the country, right? In some ways, as far as employment. That's when I've seen certain states that way, like Sacramento has more government employees than regular because they got state, local, and federal in there, plus a couple of bases. Federal service, including U.S. military service. That's why I say Sacramento, because they got 2 bases, state and local. It's unbelievable. So they work full-time at the agency or the organization, have loans with like federal student loans, direct loans. You'll repay them. That you've repaid under the income-driven repayment program. The other qualification is that you have 120 qualified payments. And to ensure you're on the right track, you should submit the Public Service Loan Forgiveness and Temporary Expansion Certificate. The form is in the description below. Make sure you guys do that. This is going to be free money for all those people, as well as forgiveness. So make sure you act on it right away so you don't miss out on this money or this forgiveness. If you still have not applied for unemployment assistance, get a head start on the week and apply today. In most states, there's still time to apply for it. You get 26 or 27 weeks of unemployment, unless you're in Virginia, which you might have a blackout on your website. But for everybody else, upload your employment history or ID, all your information, be as honest as possible and truthful in answering those questions. And you could receive a backdated unemployment check for thousands of dollars if you didn't claim it from before. Make sure you file for the weeks you missed because you don't want to miss out on that. At this point, the PUA remains closed, but I remain hopeful lawmakers will get it together. They'll also get back on that train with AOC and with Cori Bush and a lot of the squad that's supposed to be fighting for independent contractors and 1099 workers. We'll see what they do. If you missed yesterday's video, you make sure that you don't get that money clawed back. Take a look at yesterday's video because you don't want to miss some of the granular stuff you might have to do to keep that money because the federal law had changed December 27th and passed. So make sure you check that out. Please keep sharing your experience with the UI and unemployment benefits in your state. Take care of yourself. I love you. I'm Andrew Cartwright.